everyone, my name is Ryan Cam, and welcome to my review for The Grudge 2020. This was written and directed by Nicolas Pesce, and it is based on the Japanese film of the same name. It tells the story of a group of people who are haunted by a ghost who corrupts this house, and is set to haunt and eventually kill all who enter it. As I said in my most anticipated movies of January 2020 video, we are officially in the dead season. We either get Oscar stragglers or the crap that studios don't want to associate with. But an even bigger trend, if you all have noticed, is the first movie that we all get every January, like the first weekend, is always a horror movie. Last year we had Escape Room, in 2016 we had The Forest, in 2017, we had Insidious: The Last Key. You get my point, I'm sure. But I've found that I like a lot of these movies. Now, some of them are outright terrible, like Paranormal Activity, the marked ones. But there's also The Forest, which I think is creepy as hell, and Insidious: The Last Key, which I like, but apparently nobody else does. I try and see every movie with an open mind, and that's what I did with The Grudge, and I walked out of it thinking that it was okay. This movie is very much a mixed bag for me. Where I think this movie succeeds the most is the atmosphere. This movie just turns the creep factor up to 11. This movie has excellent usages of light and shadow that a lot of horror movies don't use. And the effects in the movie are really impressive. There are actually some very disturbing looking practical effects in this, and I am a practical effects junkie, so good on this movie for going with practical. Yes, there is some CGI in there, but the CGI is used only sparingly, and only used when necessary. It is a tool in the toolkit, and not the entire canvas. And I also thought the acting in the movie was very strong across the board, especially from Lin Shaye, John Cho, and Andrea Riseborough. I hope I'm saying that last name correct. Lin Shaye, we already know who she is. Whenever she appears in a horror movie, she automatically makes it better. John Cho was recently in Searching, which is one of the more underrated movies of 2018. And Andrea Riseborough was someone that I didn't recognize at first, but then I looked at her IMDb and I was like, oh, she was in Birdman and Oblivion with Tom Cruise. So she's been around, just in smaller roles. She has a more prevalent role, and I think she does a really good job here. But what I didn't like about this movie comes from the continuity. Basically, without going too deep into spoilers, the movie takes place between 2004 and 2006. But the movie jumps back and forth so often between that time period that it can be disorienting if you're not paying attention. The movie will start in 2004, then go to 2006, and then go to 2005, and then back to 2006, and then a quick stop in 2004, which bleeds into 2006, and then back to 2005, and straight on to 2004. That went on for several minutes, but I'm sure you get my point. What I don't like about this was the fact that this time period contained vital information to how this curse actually worked. And I just felt it was disjointed. This wasn't like, say, a Pulp Fiction, where the story threads in that movie are so thin that the fact that the movie is chopped up and mixed up so the events don't happen in the order that they're set in that movie adds to the charm of it all. No, in The Grudge, everything is important to understanding how the ghost works, and unless you're paying attention to every frame, you are going to get lost. And I also thought the ending of the movie, again without going into spoilers, was very disappointing. The movie just kind of ends, and you're left there like, wait, is there going to be more? And then there isn't any more. And you're just like, that was weird. But I liked The Grudge certainly more than I disliked it, and I'm going to give it a good rating. Is this top tier horror? No, absolutely not. But especially in January, This was a pleasant surprise. The continuity and the ending were both frustrating and disappointing, respectively. However, the movie was well acted and had more than its fair share of creepy moments. So, if you're into that kind of stuff, then I do suggest you check it out. But that is all for me, guys. Thank you so much as always for watching. Stay tuned for later on this weekend when I'll be releasing my review of Man of Steel in honor of Birds of Prey coming out at the beginning of February. My name is Ryan Cam, and I'll see you in the next one.